Hi guys, my name is Stephanie and I am back with another video. Today we're going to be going over how to deep clean your kitchen sinks and drains. Be sure to watch the whole video because I have some tips and tricks for you today about how to get rid of really stinky sink drains. If you've got a smell coming out of your sink, I think I know how to fix it for you. And I've also got some very helpful tips when it comes to preventing blockages in your sink drains at all. So if you've ever dealt with a blocked sink drain, I have some tricks for helping prevent that from happening. Everything that I cover in today's video can be done with all natural products if you prefer. I like to use Dawn dish soap, but if you don't, you can use whatever natural dish soap that you like. I generally deep clean my kitchen sinks once a month. Start this out by emptying out your sinks completely, then give them a good scrub with hot water and dish soap. This wash will remove any of the loose crumbs and bits of food that you have in your sink, but it's also going to help to start loosen up the stains that are set into your sink. For this step, I just use an old dishcloth to really scrub both sinks and all around the sink area. Once that's done, I drain the sinks, rinse it out, and move on to removing any of the stains that have built up in your sink over the last month. So my right-hand sink does not have a garbage disposal in it. The left-hand one does. A year or two ago, I shared a video with you guys about how I removed a huge clog from the drain on this side of the sink. And since then, I've started using a couple of tricks to prevent clogs from ever happening in this side of the sink again. The first trick is to pour 1 to 2 cups of vinegar directly into your drain, and you're going to let that sit there for 20, 25, 30 minutes. Vinegar is mildly acidic, and it's going to help cut through any mild buildup of grease and oils that you might have developed over the last month. So when you're washing your pots and pans that are covered in grease, little bits of grease will get into your drain, and it can slowly start to build up over time, which is what happened with my drain. Then when you're washing dishes that have little bits of food, every once in a while some little bits of food are going to get past your filter and it's going to stick to that grease, and all of a sudden you've got a mound of oil and little bits of food sort of building up in your drain. While we're letting that vinegar have time to soak, we're going to work on the stains in your sink. For stainless steel sinks, you're going to want to use baking soda and a non-scratch scrubbing pad. The sink is already wet from washing it earlier and pouring that vinegar in, so we don't really need to add any more water to that baking soda. Be ready to be scrubbing for a few minutes on each sink, but it's well worth the effort that you're going to put into it. Scrub the entire sink and the drains with your scrubbing pad with the non-scratch surface side of it if you have one that's like mine, not the sponge side. The non-scratch surface along with that baking soda is going to give enough grit to safely scrub away any of the stains that are set into the grain of your stainless steel. Scrubbing with the grain on the stainless steel is going to be another way to get all of those stains out and make your sink look brand new again. You can also use baking soda and non-scratch scrubbing pads on porcelain sinks too. Just don't scrub too hard on porcelain or let vinegar sit on it for too long. It could dull the finish. So after scrubbing away all of those stains in your kitchen sink with that baking soda, you can rinse it out. So you can just rinse it out with your normal tap water. But at this point, I like to use hot water that I've boiled in a tea kettle. Pouring extra hot water down that drain once a month is another trick that's going to help me keep all of those fats and oils from building up in that drain. So my other side of my sink never gets oil built up in it, and I've realized it's because whenever I'm boiling a pot of pasta or some vegetables on the stove, I pour that hot water into the left side of the sink. So I've started doing it on the right side too to help keep all of those fats from building up. So you can already see that the baking soda did a fantastic job on the right-hand sink, but we're not quite done deep cleaning that side yet. We still have to clean our drain filter. For this job, I'm going to use an old toothbrush and some Dawn Power Wash to give it a good clean and scrub. Make sure you get into all of the crevices of that filter and do the top and the bottom. But I'm actually only cleaning this filter today just to show you how I do it. I have a third tip for you guys to keep food bits from ever getting into that drain in the first place, and that's by using a better filter. This is a 2-layer sink filter that's going to stop every bit of food from ever getting into your pipes while letting you drain the water out at the same time. I love this thing. It is amazing. Someone mentioned this to me in the comments on one of my videos, so I had to look it up and check it out. A bunch of different companies make these filters. They're all pretty similar, so you don't have to buy the one that I'm using. You can probably find them at Walmart, maybe at your local hardware stores too. I got this one on Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the description if you need it. You should be able to find them for under $10, and they are a game changer, guys. Okay, now let's move over to my sink that has the garbage disposal in it. And I want to say, if you do not have a garbage disposal and you have a double basin sink, just do everything that I did for that first sink in both sides, and you're done. After doing the same vinegar soak and baking soda scrub that I did on the right-hand side of the sink, we're going to give your garbage disposal splash guard a deep clean. To remove your splash guard, all you have to do is gently pull it out of place. It's just sitting inside of grooves inside that drain, so it's pretty easy to remove. If you've never done this before, you'll be surprised at how gross this thing will smell on the bottom of that splash guard. It's collecting a lot of gunk. It doesn't ever get cleaned off. And if you have a stinky sink drain and you're wondering why, this is one of the sources of the stink. I like to use soap, hot water, and an old toothbrush to give this splash guard a really good clean. Once again, this is something that I'm just cleaning to show you how I do it for the video. My old splash guard that you're seeing here, it has a little bit of damage and the opening on it is a little bit bigger than it should be. So I'm actually going to replace this. This is another thing that you can replace for under $10. These splash guards can last for years and years, but if you notice that yours is starting to get damaged, cracks, stretching out, go ahead and give it a replacement so that you don't have stuff bouncing out of that garbage disposal up into the sink. But before I install the brand new splash guard, let's talk about another possible cause of stinkiness in your kitchen sink, and that's going to be your garbage disposal. The one place in your garbage disposal that seems to always stay dirty no matter what is the underside of that garbage disposal. So there'll be like a skin of nasty fat residue and stuff that never gets rinsed away. So you're going to have to really scrub it away if you're going to want to get rid of your smells completely and make sure that you've deep cleaned that garbage disposal out. After scrubbing inside of that garbage disposal and scrubbing inside of the drain completely, I'm ready to rinse out the sink and get rid of all of the baking soda and any residue that's left behind in the sink, in the drain, and in the garbage disposal. So I'm using a boiling kettle of water again to really disinfect and rinse away all of the fats and residue that's in the sink. So you can see here that the garbage disposal is looking pretty clean inside already at this point, but I decided to go for an extra clean and use one cut up lemon. So I cut it up into 8 pieces, a big container of ice, and a bunch of table salt to add extra grit and cleaning power to get that garbage disposal really cleaned out. Then before I could run the garbage disposal, I put my old splash guard back in so that I could quickly run that garbage disposal and give it another really good clean. Here's another look inside of my garbage disposal after I ran it. And as you can see, it's looking pretty much the same, but I have to say, I don't smell anything coming out of my garbage disposal at this point. So I'm really happy with that. And it's time to put my new splash guard into place. In case you don't know, there's a groove inside of the drain in this sink that holds your splash guard in place. So if you just slowly push it down on all sides around that splash guard, you'll feel it settle into that groove. So you'll know when to stop pressing down. All right, now that we've finished deep cleaning your kitchen sinks and drains, it's time to move on to the faucets. So we're nearly done. You can use your dish soap or whatever cleaner that you like to use on faucets, but don't forget to do the part of the faucet where the water comes out, because often you'll find that you've got a little bit of scum buildup there or hard water buildup there. So it's important to give that a clean every once in a while too to keep your faucet functioning better. After giving your faucet a good scrub where the water comes out, if you notice that you do have hard water buildup or mineral deposits building up there, there is an easy fix for that. But first, I rinsed and dried my faucets to prevent water spots. Then I got to work on that hard water mineral buildup on that faucet. So the easiest thing to do here is to soak a paper towel in vinegar and then attach that paper towel to the bottom of your faucet, just on the area that has the hard water mineral built up on it, and put that in a baggie with a rubber band to hold it in place. And let that sit for half an hour, however long it takes. If you have a lot of minerals built up, it's going to take longer, but let that sit until the stains are ready to come right off. They'll scrub off, or you can pick them off with your fingernail, whatever. Well, that's pretty much it for how to deep clean your kitchen sinks, drains, and faucets. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I do try to answer them whenever I get a chance. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more home maintenance and cleaning tips like this. All right, thanks guys.